Good afternoon, traders. It's Mark here from the day trading room. The time is 5 to 5 on London time on Friday, the 10th of December, and very quiet day so far. We are up 8 on the futures, up 3 on the cash, and the range so far has been 39 points. Very tight day. Before we talk about a couple of trades I made today based on the same premise, let's just run over yesterday. I did put out a video out there. I think it was about 4:30 that I filmed it, and so talking about some of the trades and the fact that we opened above that 11,320 level, that really key level from all this week and late last week. We pushed down immediately. Sellers, any open above that has been pushed below it. So good bit of information now. I'm just going to talk about that in a minute. Um, but yeah, the midday session. I feel like I repeat myself quite a lot when I talk about this, but it's working at the moment, guys. So it makes no sense not to just keep trading it until it stops working. We'll soon know if it doesn't. And at the moment, it's working. I talked about a push up to the VWAP around the midday. We got the alternative, which is the double bottom. We pushed down here. I was hesitating slightly, but I got away with it. It came down for the third time, and I managed to get on the third push. But there was a big tape buyer there. When I say big, I mean there was no volume anyway, so it didn't need much to be supporting that to get a pop off that. So yeah, there was the long, there was the exit. Again, it's that midday New York time level. It's happening very regularly. I mean, I wouldn't say it's absolutely definite, but it's definitely a time to look for some sort of setup, whether that is a retracement that curls back down, whether it is a double bottom, some sort of place where there is a potential for a mild change in trend. Not always, but it's definitely worth watching, guys, if you're not watching already. Yeah, so that was great. Popped up, got bored of that very quickly. It was so slow. I mean, the 5 point ranges in the bars. So I just, when it got to 10 ticks, it was actually around here. I don't know why the arrows are there. It was around here. Took my 10 ticks and then I was out. I didn't even hang around there looking for more. Shame really, because did get up and get that deeper cycle to the VWAP, which is what we'd mentioned. Something we'd mentioned earlier in the day, expecting that cycle up, pause, and maybe a retest of lows. I didn't even take the short actually. I don't really know why. It was a good setup, nice enough. It just spiked up a little bit. Tagged the VWAP almost to the tick. You could have resting order sitting there, no heat at all. And then you've got your 10 ticks straight away. And then we had a retest of lows, so anyone holding that really was rewarded. So well done if you got on the end of that one. I didn't, but it was a nice little setup. So let's roll on. That was it for the day for me. The last trade was the midday push. Okay, let's talk about today. Today, same old pattern, guys. We opened up above our favourite level at the moment. I'm sure it will change next week, but we've got this 11,320 level. 11,320. That is our big level at the moment. The market is really paying attention to that for whatever reason. Don't know. Don't really care. But look at yesterday, same trade. It was opened above it. We pushed straight down to it. It wasn't until we got to that level that the shelling shut off. And same today. We opened above it. Open was 11,324. We pushed straight down below it. The market is not happy above it. Didn't get on the first push lower. Just wanted to wait and see what was happening. The overnight range was reasonably low. There was less than 50 points, and the gap was minimal. So I was just going to wait really to see what happened. And so we pushed lower, started to push back up, and just watch the tape. When it's coming back up to your level of interest, this 11,320 level, just watch the tape. Pushes back up, fails. The buying just gets shut off. Sellers just start to step in, and there's a nice little short there. Unfortunately, it didn't offer too much. I was looking then for a gap fill. That was my target. That was the premise of the trade. We pulled back. Evidence that there were sellers above that 11,320 level. Second time we pushed up, that's the time to get short. The stop was going to be above the high. Nice little quantified risk. Started to push lower, but then of course, we had the consumer credit coming out at 5 to 3. London time. So the market just ended up. Sorry, it wasn't the consumer credit; it was consumer sentiment. Came out at 5 to 3, and the market was just chopping around. The range. This is 5 points. So didn't didn't take my exit there. Missed that opportunity to get out because I was looking for that gap fill. Held the whole position and ended up coming out just before the 5 to 3 time. So that was a nothing really. It was something like six points all out there. Didn't want to get involved and hold over the numbers just in case. You can't manage your risk when numbers come out. I know at the moment numbers aren't really, especially something, excuse me, least important like consumer sentiment, but numbers can swing the market. So I tend to cover my position, if not most of it, if not all of it. So yeah, I was all out there. Just a very small profit. Didn't quite get what I wanted, but again, this was the consumer sentiment. It spiked us up, but immediately it spiked lower. Now, there's no big volume came in. It wasn't like it was a reprice. A little bit of tick action, but again, that was only up to this was that 400. It's nothing. There's no players getting involved in that, and there is a seller there at above 11,320. So it made sense to get back in, get short as we push below that 11,320 level. The S&P actually was a better read because it popped over by one tick and then came lower. So that coincided all nicely. So we got short there as it pushed lower, and we held, and it just took a while. It messed around here for a couple of minutes, which is a little bit frustrating. But the fact when it starts to hesitate at lows, you've got a choice of whether you're going to take some off the table. And for me, there wasn't really enough movement to take it off the table. I was looking for the whole gap fill, and then I was going to come all out. But a little thing to look at when it's there is if it's holding there for a bit, watch the tape and just to see how much is traded on that bid. It was 08 at the time, if I remember, 11,308, and there was hardly anything traded on the bid. So it wasn't as if there was a buyer picking up all the contracts. It was just that the sellers weren't yet prepared to pay a lower price. But so you've got to watch then to see how big the bounce is off that low. If you're only getting a very small bounce relative to the move, then you know that sellers are there. They're just not quite eager enough to push it through yet, but they're still there and they're still, putting on the offer when the market pops up a bit. So you can watch that, see the action, and eventually they get impatient and push through. And that's what we've got. We've got to push through. This was my exit here, and the only reason that I exited there, 2 ticks short of the gap fill, was because that happened to be the cash gap fill, and I didn't want to hang around looking for another 2 ticks. It's not important to me that. So I got my fill right there. So that was a nice little trade. Worked well. It's that 11,320 level again. No scales on that, just all out, and that's me done for the day unless something else happens. The market is very, very quiet now. We're getting very low tick readings. I don't even think I'll take the fade. I may take it if we start getting above here. We are at the midday level now. Let's see, but it's still really mid-range. The actual total range of the day is less than 40 points. So, even if you pick your spots carefully, even if you get half the range, there's not enough reward anyway. Is what I'm trying to say. So I'm probably going to leave it for the day. Maybe look to see if there's any extremes later on, but that's probably done for the week. So yeah, good trading, guys. Manage your risk. I hope you had a good week. Hope you stayed disciplined and stuck to your rules, and maybe getting a few ideas on some trading setups and ways to approach the market. Have a good weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week.